Hey guys, how is it going? LAX Beast here, and today I'm here with another Fortnite video, and today we're going to be talking about how to master building on console. So we're talking Xbox, PlayStation, that sort of stuff, guys. So if you're on one of those, then of course this is the video for you, and if you're on PC, then you can just rapid build about 5 times quicker than any quick builder on console, then you should just like congratulate yourself, because that stuff does look impossible. But today I'm going to be talking about how to get into the top percentage of people for building on console, guys. And building is a really important skill, especially in battle royale, because you need to outbuild your opponent, and that means that you'll be able to get the height advantage, you know, just outsmart your opponent, and you could also obviously from that get higher kills and win more games. So this video is for you if you want to learn how to get the top skills in building. Right guys, so first things first that you want to do is make sure your settings are right to help you building. Okay, so there's a lot of things that go into the settings to make them right. If you're relatively new to building, or you're just not a very quick builder on console, what I recommend firstly that you do is always change to Builder Pro in the settings bar for Fortnite, basically. So what you want to do is you want to go to this setting here and just keep going across until you get to Builder Pro. Combat Pro is also good. I'll explain the difference between the two in the minute, but I would always recommend Builder Pro for everyone. First off, guys, to explain the difference between Combat Pro and Builder Pro, and why I would always recommend you go for Builder Pro is like this. So as you can see over the different types of building that we have R2 for a wall, L2 for stairs, R1 for a platform, which I'll build up here, and L1 for this triangle, which can be very helpful and also can be molded into stairs as well. So for each trigger or bumper button is a different building. So if you want to build a stair, literally you just hold L2. It's as simple and as easy as that. If you want to build platforms, you just hold R1. Difference between Combat Pro and Builder Pro, I'll just switch on to Combat Pro now, is that if you want to build, L1 and R1 will change the different type, and R2 is always to build. So if I wanted to build a wall, it's R2. If I wanted to build stairs, it's still R2, you see? But in terms of changing the type of building that you want to make, all you got to do is press L1 and R1 to whichever side you want to do, which is why you often see Combat Pro players have stairs edited as their triangles, because it means that they only have to press R1 once to build walls. So it's a bit like this. It was a little bit slower than using Combat Pro, which obviously I've been used to as well, and whichever one you get used to is probably the one you will prefer, to be honest. But they're both pretty good. I prefer Builder Pro just because you only have to press the one button to build the platform. The stair, it's all its own button, whereas you always have to press R2 and switch between them for Combat Pro. So it's a little bit more work to do in that, but that is the difference between Combat and Builder Pro. Secondly, the settings, always make sure that turbo building is on. This setting here, this little tab, make sure that this is turned on, because it means that instead of having to press R2 or R1, L1, L2, RB, whatever console it is that you're on, you can always just hold the trigger button or the bumper button, and it will just build consistently for you. Another thing that you need to know as well is about wireless controller X and Y sensitivity, guys. Okay, so X is obviously the distance, how quickly you move across, like the arrows to the left and right direction, and the Y sensitivity is how quickly you move up and down. Obviously in a game situation, moving across, so if you're moving across, it's way more prominent than actually moving up or down. Usually your gun will be in a right position, so I always would recommend as well having your X just a little bit more than your Y, because you're more likely to want to change your direction left and right more than what you want to right. But that's just my personal preference. Whatever you have is up to you. Tip number 2, guys. So after your settings are sorted out into those positions, Combat Pro or Builder Pro, and your settings X and Y, the quicker you are with X and Y, the quicker you could possibly build. But at the same time, you could also fool yourself a lot more if they're too high, and you can end up messing it up a little bit more. So you've got to find the right balance. And with turbo building on, after all 3 of those things are sorted out, you're then ready to start building, guys. So what I would do is to help you, especially begin building, is always jump into a game of Playgrounds. As you can see, I'm here in a game of Playgrounds by myself, 42 minutes on the clock, and we're going to do some building. So if you're on Builder Pro, what you want to do is you want to start testing yourself just at building a ramp. Just run up and build a ramp. See how quickly you can do that. The quicker you can do it, obviously, the better. I would always recommend when building ramps that you put walls in front. All you got to do for this is do an L2 R2 motion. So it's very, very simple. All you got to do is press L2 R2 L2 R2 L2 R2 L2 R2 to build the stair and then the wall. Very simple, and it gives your stairs that little bit of extra help and protection from gunshots and stuff, because if you get shot out, you'd be straight back on the floor again, and basically be back to square one in terms of getting the height advantage over your opponent. Obviously the L2 and R2 is for PlayStation, the same combination will be LT and RT for your Xbox controllers as well. So guys, once you've mastered those two sorts of directions, what you want to do is you want to then give yourself a go at building a double ramp. The same thing applies. All you want to do is be in the middle of your ramp. So that means you want to be in this sort of area, because if you're all the way on this side, you won't be able to build this ramp. And if you're all the way on this side, you won't be able to build that ramp. So standing there is about the same. This will give you about the same protection, and if one of the ramps gets shot down, then of course you can just move over onto the other side very quickly and easily. So guys, once you've mastered that skill, you want to test yourself again. This is going to take you no time at all. Building ramps is one of the easiest things to do on Fortnite. All you have to do is just give it a little go, get yourself up to maximum materials on Playground, and build some ramps. Next thing you want to do, guys, is test yourself building a double ramp barrier. So that means 2 ramps and a barrier for each of them as well, but all the way up and rushing a building. That's the best way to rush someone, because it'll give you maximum protection over rushing them, and they'll be able to do barely anything about it. And that, guys, looks something like this. And there we go. That is pretty much it for learning to build ramps and rushing your opponent. And after this, obviously, you're coming into the more game situations where you might want to grab a friend to join you in Playgrounds and see whether you can outbuild each other. And that is when you'll be starting to twist and turn and try and keep getting heights advantage on your opponent. For tip number 3, obviously in game situations, you aren't just going to want to build up and around the same time, all the same every single time, because it's just not as easy as that. Sometimes your ramp, the person will build over you like this. It just happens to everyone in a game, and it just happens a bit like this. So someone has managed to build over you, and you're in this situation. What you want to then practice doing, so you put yourself in this position, give yourself this, and wonder what you got to do. So someone's up there, they're about to jump down. What you want to do is you want to start trying to use the platforms and possibly the triangles as well. Now you've got 2 options from this sort of situation. One option is to go left or right, doesn't make any difference, and then start building up and turn, just like that, and then you're on top, and obviously you can build the next ramp if they manage to get up to the same height as you, and then you put them in the bad position. The other option that you have is a little less aggressive. It's as simple as this. Especially works better if you have traps. So you come off to the other side, again, build yourself in a box, and it especially works well if you're trying to med up, or you've got minis or something that you want to quickly put on. And then you leave yourself in this situation, guys. So you want to put yourself in the game situations that you might be in. So that's your 2 different styles. I'd always recommend putting the triangle on top of the roof. Because it means that if they manage to shoot through the triangle, they still have to get through a roof as well to be able to get anywhere near you, and it gives you that extra little bit of time to med up. So guys, after you've mastered switching between different buildings, learning how to make ramps really quick and outbuilding opponents, the next step that you want to do is practicing your edits, guys. Now this is one of the more tricky things to navigate around, because it's a lot more nitpicky. You've got to be really careful with the edits, because if you do the wrong thing, you're either going to fail and then maybe put yourself in jeopardy because you're giving your opponent more time to come in and press you, or you're just going to build the wrong thing and maybe put yourself in a bit more of an awkward position. So guys, say that someone was along here, they just build a simple 1x1. They just build a simple 1x1. And they're looking over at me like that, okay? So they've got the height advantage over me on this sort of situation. I'm just going to make this a little bit wider. Somebody's got a height advantage over you, and you're here in this box that you've built because you've been medding up. Okay, and he's about to start pressing that wall. And in fact, you've built it like this so that you put yourself in a little bit more space. And he starts shooting at your wall, and then suddenly you've got to get out of here. First things first that you could do is you could smash down. But if, like me, you've built it out of steel and you're there a little bit screwed, you need to get out, and you need to get out quickly. And smashing or shooting your way out is going to both give you less ammo for one. It's going to put you in jeopardy because it's going to take more time than editing. And lastly, it's also going to give away your position to everyone else as well. So you want to try and practice your editing. You can either build doors, obviously, in any different part of the door. So you can build a door anywhere like that. You build an arch, which is like this, or which allows you firstly to not have the door sound effect as well. Or you can do what I like to do, and you can build, and you can edit out the corner, which is a bit more like this. This method is way quicker, obviously, than editing out doors as well, because you also have to open the doors. It's a little bit quicker than, well, it's way quicker than shooting or just smashing your way out with a pickaxe. I'd always recommend using these triangle-looking things because they're just a little bit quicker. They're always around the edge, so it doesn't mean doors as well are fairly easy. They're just literally straight down, as long as you have the toggle assist in the settings as well, which is looking like this. The toggle assist, there you go, aim assist for edit mode, aim assist, that will help you out as well. So the first type of edit that you want to learn is obviously just getting out of boxes that you've made, and once you've mastered that, you can just keep repairing it and doing it on different places as well. And the second type of editing that you want to do, obviously, is a bit more easy, guys. It's a little bit more easy. The next type of editing that I wanted to say is when you're in a 1x1 and say you see someone over, let's say you see someone over on that house over there. So they're on that building over there, and you're sat here in this sort of position, and you can't quite get the angle without peeking your head over too much, especially if you have a sniper. So you're having to give up a lot of your position. What you want to do often is just change the direction of the stairs, guys. And it's a simple and easy one as long as you know how to do it. All you got to do, guys, is put yourself in edit mode and get from the stairs. Obviously from the stairs, all you got to do is press R2 to edit each one, and then go from the middle to the middle. So this middle to this middle would mean that it's over there, and this middle to this middle will put the top of the stairs over there. It's a simple one as long as you know how to do it, but just remember, for stairs it's generally the middle to change your direction or something like that. Also, you can edit yourself under to give you a little bit of protection, or if somebody was shooting down your base. Another type of edit that you may want to learn is just getting down to the bottom quickly, because if you jump out you might take full damage. So if I was to just build this a little bit higher, if I was to jump out, oh look, I take full damage. But instead of taking full damage, you can just edit yourself down, which looks a little bit like this. It can just be a little bit slower, guys. It just takes a little bit of time, but it doesn't matter. But it just means that you can get out safely with no problems, and also, you know, it can confuse your opponent to where you actually end up. Basically, guys, editing just allows you to get yourself out of some awkward situations. If you're ever just pretty difficult, just means that you can get yourself into a little bit of a safer position, and sometimes just confuse your opponent to where you actually are. Playground mode will give you loads and loads of materials, which means you have a lot of time and a lot of chance to play around with building. And second thing about playground mode is also there isn't really any opponents that you might not know, because usually you just do it with your friends. You can do it on Phil, but it just means that it doesn't affect your stats as well, anything like that. After you mastered those types of builds, so building a 1x1, editing yourself out, and building ramps, those are the main three things that you have to do in Fortnite Battle Royale. Just building yourself in a little 1x1 is obviously really easy. It's just about putting the walls around, guys, and it's as simple and as easy as that, and it can give you the height advantage over many people, and it can just give you that advantage in a game as well. A little bit of security, especially from all four sides, so you can't just be attacked by surprise. As we all know, building is a must in Fortnite, so the more you master it, the better your chances of survival will be. Like I said, guys, first of all, you've got to get your settings right. Second of all, practice in playground, and after that, guys, you're away, and all you got to do is just keep practicing. Not everyone in Fortnite is going to be absolutely insane at building, so as long as you're just moderately okay, it will just give you the edge over all of the competitors in Fortnite Battle Royale, guys. And so playground mode, I'd always recommend going into playground mode, testing out your sensitivity, keep changing it around, guys, and it can be as easy as you like. Mastering building is always about finding your way of doing it, not finding the way that the pros do it on PC, because although they look absolutely insane, obviously first of all they have an edge because they're on PC, which allows you to play a little bit quicker. But also they do it every single minute of their lives, so as long as you're happy with the way that you can do it, that's all that matters, guys. And that is how you master building or Fortnite Battle Royale. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like on the video, and also be subscribed to the channel. We're doing giveaways at subscriber thresholds. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.